Most of us think we know cheese. It's milk, it melts, it tastes good. End of story. But the cheese you slice for a sandwich and the cheese that stretches on a pizza aren't always playing by the same rules. In fact, the difference between fresh or natural cheese and processed cheese comes down to chemistry, structure, and a surprising amount of engineering. Let's start with natural cheese. This is cheese in its most traditional form, made from milk, cultures, rennet, and salt. Milk proteins, mainly casein, clump together during cheese making to form a network that traps fat and water. That network is what gives cheese its texture, whether it's soft and creamy like fresh mozzarella or firm and crumbly like aged cheddar. As natural cheese ages, enzymes and bacteria slowly break down proteins and fats. This is what creates complex flavors and aromas. Sharp cheddar, nutty parmesan, funky blue cheese. Those flavors come from time, microbes, and chemistry doing their thing. The structure also changes with age, becoming firmer or more brittle as moisture is lost and proteins tighten up. Now, here's the key point. Natural cheese is a living, evolving food. Even after it's packaged, it continues to change. That's why some cheeses melt smoothly, others release oil, and some refuse to melt at all. Processed cheese starts with natural cheese, but then it takes a very different path. Chunks of real cheese are ground up and heated, then combined with added ingredients like emulsifying salts, extra dairy, water, and sometimes flavorings or preservatives. Heat breaks down the original protein network, and the emulsifying salts step in to reorganize it. These salts, such as sodium citrate or sodium phosphate, do something clever. They grab onto calcium in the cheese proteins, loosening the tight bonds that hold natural cheese together. This creates a new, more stable protein structure that holds fat and water evenly. The result is a cheese that melts smoothly, doesn't separate into grease and clumps, and behaves the same way every time. That uniform behavior is the main goal of processed cheese. Natural cheese can be unpredictable. One block melts beautifully, another turns oily or grainy. Processed cheese is designed to be consistent, whether it's sliced, shredded, or poured from a packet. Flavor is another big difference. Natural cheese flavor comes from fermentation and aging. Processed cheese flavor is more controlled. Because heating and blending dulls some of the original complexity, manufacturers adjust salt levels and sometimes add flavor compounds to recreate a familiar, cheesy taste. That's why processed cheese often tastes milder and more uniform than the natural cheese it started from. Texture is where the contrast really shows. Natural cheese texture reflects how it was made and aged, from elastic to crumbly to spreadable. Processed cheese is engineered for smoothness. It slices cleanly, melts evenly, and resists mold growth longer thanks to lower water activity and preservatives. Nutritionally, both types still provide protein and calcium, but processed cheese usually contains more sodium and additives. Natural cheese tends to have simpler ingredient lists, while processed cheese trades simplicity for shelf life and performance. So is one better than the other? Not exactly. Natural cheese shines when flavor and tradition matter. Processed cheese excels when consistency, melt, and convenience are the priority. They're built for different jobs, even though they both start with the same basic ingredient, milk. Understanding what changes between fresh or natural cheese and processed cheese helps explain why they look, taste, and behave so differently. It's not about real versus fake. It's about how much the original structure is preserved or deliberately rebuilt. If this helped you see cheese in a new way, give the video a like and subscribe for more food science made simple. Thanks for watching.